Hey beauties, Lisa here. I think over the next couple days I might just make some fun videos. I have a bunch of decks to show you guys, and I feel a little frivolous, truth be told. It's been a pretty intense couple of weeks. The horrific weather that we had, I mean horrific for us in Eugene, losing power for 5 days, all of that. And then this past week there was just some crazy stuff happening at the hospital. And so it's been an intense week. And then sandwiched in between last week's weather and this week's sort of work stuff, there was NEWTS, Northwest Tarot Symposium, and that was bliss. I mean, it was bliss. In fact, part of what made it bliss was actually just getting a chance to meet a bunch of you who I know from your comments below. Jennifer, it was really particularly precious getting a chance to talk with you over a number of different occasions. But it was wonderful. And if any of you are going to be at Reader's Studio in April, please, please, please look me up. I'm going to be doing a study group, so that's, that would be fun. I'm going to be doing some readings from 10 to 11 on Saturday night, and I'm just going to be hanging out and wanting to play. So let's find each other, and let's hang out, and let's play with decks all the live long day. But so many, anyway, I lost my train of thought, imagining playing all the live long day with you guys. So I want to just do some fun stuff. One of the things I wanted to talk about was my new discovery. I kind of have all of the vintage decks I need. I have a bunch of Rider-Waite Smiths, including a lovely maybe 1971 blue box Rider and Company, a number of pre-copyright Rider-Waites, just some beautiful decks. But recently I acquired a not so pristine, kind of maybe 1984, 85 Rider-Waite. And I got it because it's not so pristine. I got it, there's the tower. I got it for not very much money. It's got a couple of stains, just maybe 2 or 3 cards. It has what looks like, almost like coffee or something. The little white book that came with it also has that stain in the corner. Because it's not pristine, I feel like I can take it with me anywhere. And in fact, I have. I've been carrying it in my backpack. It's not a perfect deck. It's still beautiful. It's beautiful. And I don't have to baby it. So it's this sort of new discovery. It sounds ridiculous, but I've got the collector decks that I need and want, and I have all the Aquarian Tarot. Well, I don't know if I have all the Aquarian Tarot that I need or want. I probably need and want some more. I would love to have the Lemniscate Ouroboros in a couple more of the colors that it came in. But now I can actually acquire some vintage decks that are not so pristine, that are just to play with. So, although I already have a number of Albano-Waites, and that number is 3, vintage Albano-Waites, this deck is, in some ways I think, I actually think the Albano-Waite might be my favorite deck in a lot of ways. The coloring of the original is so amazing, and US Games screwed it up, so you really have to get the original to get, look at this strength card. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. The red of that lion, the purple of the mountain in the background, the yellow sky. These cards in their original coloring in the Albano-Waite, it just, it blows me away. So in some ways this might be my favorite deck ever. Look at that. But I'm sorry, I keep getting distracted by these colors. But I don't play with it that much, because even though I have more than one, all the ones I have are in really nice shape. So this one, this version of it, sits on my altar. It sits on my altar, and I almost never read with it. So imagine my joy, and I was sort of surprised by my joy. Look at that goofy rainbow. It's the only place in the deck that Frankie Albano actually added imagery that wasn't in the original. So imagine my delighted joy when I saw, for like almost ridiculously little amounts of money, an Albano-Waite. I think it was a deluxe tone. There's two of them. There's the accurate color and the deluxe, what is it called? Deluxe tone? I can't remember offhand. I'll have to pop it in when I upload this video. And so I bought it. And so now I'm going to unbox it. Here it is. Here it is. Okay, I'm going to pause because I just realized this guy seriously packaged this. So I'm going to go get some tools and come right back. Okay, I've got the penknife. We've got multiple blades. All right, they probably don't need both blades at once. All right, so I wish I could remember exactly how much this was. It was definitely, I'm going to say it was under 25 with shipping, but that could be slightly inaccurate. It was much less than I've ever paid for a vintage 1968 Tarot Productions. That was what Frankie Albano's company was called, or what he called it. We know almost nothing about him. I mean, really, we don't know anything about him. And although people have talked about, thanks folks, enjoy. This eBayer was really friendly, but he kept referring to me as folks. So there was a little gap there. My sister called, and so I was chatting with her. I love my sister. My sister is a brilliant freaking journalist, or a freaking brilliant journalist. That's the way to say that. And she's embedded with a touring bicycle theater company in Florida right now. She's with the Agile Rascals. Check them out online. Very cool what these guys are doing. And my sister's been touring with them for the past 2.5 months, and working on a book project. So anyway, it was great to talk with her. Back to the Albano-Waite. So this sweet eBayer who keeps referring to me as folks. Thanks, folks. It's just me. I have a lot of decks, but I'm just one person. So this is another one of these flawed, as I understand it, a flawed vintage purchase. That the deck itself is supposed to be in good shape, but the box is falling apart, which is fine. I don't need any more beautifully preserved Albano-Waites. Not that I have any beautifully preserved Albano-Waites, but I don't, this isn't for collecting purposes. This is for loving purposes. And here it is. So this one is a new color deluxe edition. Okay. The other is the accurate color tone. That's right. And you can see the box. The box is quite well loved. Authentic, complete, accurate color tone. Accurate color tones. There we go. New color deluxe edition. I have to get the wording straight on the two different boxes. I'll plop that in. So 1968, right? The Albano-Waite. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, so the sides of this are pretty grungy. This is something I've noticed with this deck. The cutting of the cards is, they're very rough, so over time they get this, I don't know if you can see it, they kind of get crumbs. They gather lint. But here it is, folks. I'll have to make sure that all the cards are here. In fact, let me sort it into suits, and then I'll walk us through it. So I'll come right back. Wow. These may actually be the most pristine and beautiful Albano-Waites that I ever had the honor to hold. The cards themselves seem like they have never been used. Well, the backs are not like, here's a, whoops. The backs, can you see? The backs are not pristine, but the card faces are incredible. So let's just walk through this glorious deck, shall we? I'm just not even going to say a whole lot. I mean, one thing to notice, though, is the family of colors that get used, the way yellows are used, the way blues and purples. I mean, it's easy to just kind of talk about this as sort of psychedelic colors, but I actually, think that what's going on is so much more powerful than that. I was just holding my breath looking at the blues there. I love this justice. Look at death. The orange here, which really is reminiscent, sort of orangey red, reminiscent of what we'll see in the wands. And although temperance, I'm not a real fan of that color in the background, that sort of taupey brown. The blues and the greens. Wow. I mean, there's really nothing else like this deck. And this one, the cardstock on the Albano-Waite, notoriously thin, slight lamination to it. But actually these, the cardboard, I mean, it just has a very nice feel to it, a really satiny feel. I mean, look at this Judgment, the sort of the dusky blue of the skin, the blue of the angel. And this deck, this deck is all about color, right? I mean, that's his whole point. Accurate color tone. It's not about the drawings. The drawings aren't his. What Albano did was gave us the colors. And so one of the things to note in the minor suits is that the quartz have different colors than the pips. So we have in the pentacles, we have this incredible green, right? I mean, wow, look at that. This green and this kind of pomegranate red. I love the purple hills throughout. And then the way that the greens and the reds get repeated in the tree of life that we see in the 10 with the pentacles. And then, and this is the thing that really, when you look at how the US Games edition messes with the colors, it's the sort of the violet and the, what do you even call that, purpley blue of the pentacles, where I think you see it the most. You see the problems with the US Games version. I love this Queen of Pentacles. Right, so the quartz have that purpley tone, and then we have the green. The wands, which may be my favorite, go figure. Wands, my favorite suit? That's right, folks. I'm a wandsy kind of gal. This orange, right? And again, that purpley hills. I think the only other Rider-Waite type deck that has colors I love anywhere near as close to this is the Golden Rider Tapanodes deck. Look at this with that red and the yellow. Love it. Love it. And then we've got blue backgrounds for the quartz. Wait till we get to the king. Look at the king. Look at the King of Wands. Is he glorious? Now that, I thought that was a defect in my other deck, but it must be a defect in the card itself because I'm seeing it in this deck as well. Okay. And now the cups. It's just beautiful. And you know, then we sort of move to this kind of green in this one. So this card really stands out in the cups. The others all have that blue background, that sort of robin's egg blue. I love the 8. And then the rainbow made even more vibrant. And now in the quartz, we actually have more consistency of tone, but the blue is more intense. These are just gorgeous. These cards, this particular deck, these cards are amazing. Look at the Queen. Oh. Our King of Cups. Look at him. Okay, and finally, the swords with the yellow background, right? This sort of, you know, look at how smart he is about the color wheel, the sort of contrasting of yellow and purple. Wow. I love how the yellow here really takes all of the depth out of the sky, which really highlights the way this card is really interesting to me because, you know, the heart is being pierced, but it remains a very two-dimensional heart. And there's something here about like wounding and having depth through through suffering, like the way it opens us up, and the sort of play between three-dimensional and two-dimensional reality. I think it gets highlighted with Albano's coloring. I think of the 4 suits, in many ways, the swords, the coloring of the swords, however, is my least favorite, except that the 10 is amazing. And then I do love the blue backgrounds for the court. The delicacy of the coloring. Wow. Well, that really exceeded my expectations. This deck is stupendous. It's amazing. Wow. It smells good too. Yeah, the Albano-Waite, everybody. So I am going to play with this deck. I'm going to play with this deck because this deck I purchased in order to be able to play with it. So I am going to play with this deck. Yes, I am. Okay. Lots of love, folks. And look, it's become night again. I keep doing this. I keep doing these videos that get like drawn out and then it becomes night. Because, you know, the world, it keeps revolving. Day turns into night. Oh my gosh, and it's spring forward, so we lose an hour. Yeah. I hate daylight savings times, guys. Or are we going off of it? I always get confused. Anyway, we lose an hour. Spring forward. Yeah. United States is really nutty about all this. Okay. Ta-ta. Love. Thank you. Practice. Yes. Good.